Oh, yes, go ahead and click on got it, because we are starting here. Social media basics overview. Once again, my name is Arnaud Prévost, and I'm program coordinator here with the SBDC. And we are a full house here. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what is the I'm sorry, what is what are the four sessions that we're having this what are the four sessions that we are having? Well, it is, whoops, I just drew something. Sorry about that. We are having social media overview today. And then after that, next week, so social media overview, that'll be today. After that, next week on the 24th, it is social media setup. Then we are having on the 31st, website and e-commerce. And then last but not least, we are having Grow Your Following on the 7th of April. So I hope to see everybody there for all four sessions. That would be awesome. That would be great. And it's all part of the same lessons and explanations. So that's going to be fun. All right. Again, any questions, please make sure to put them in the chat. I'm going to check the chat regularly. Who are we? We are the SBDC. We are the Small Business Development Center here out of Blue Mountain Community College. Like I said, I'm the program coordinator. We have advisors in Umatilla, Baker, and Wallowa County. Please make sure to contact us for any questions, sbdc@bluecc.edu, or give us a call, 541-278-5833. Again, 541-278-5833 for any questions that you might have about your business, anywhere from business iteration all the way to business development and so on. I will show this page to you at the very end so that you can take notes to grab any phone numbers that you need. Our session today is we're going to follow some video conferencing norms. And so again, it's a good etiquette to mute yourself when you're not talking. If you're using a phone, please mute yourself, okay? This session is intended to be interactive. I already see 5 questions. That's great. 6 questions in the chat. I'll get to them right after. And please feel free to interrupt. We have a number of, let me check out the list here, see who's here. We have a number of, let's see, at least one I see, business advisors here on Zoom that can help answer any of your questions, all right, that you might have. So that's great. Okay. And again, you can also use the reaction buttons or type your questions in the chat. All right. Let me check out the chat right now. Everybody's saying good morning. And welcome everybody. So will the sessions be accessible after the, I'm sorry, will the recordings be accessible after the session? Yes, they will be, absolutely. Okay. Just, we'll email out the link to participants so you can review the slide deck, so the slideshow. That's gonna be great, that's gonna be fun, all right? And yes, Christy from Wallowa County and Jeff from Baker County are with us. Good morning, everybody, good morning. All right, so I just wanted to check those questions on the chat. All right, let's go ahead and begin. We're doing the overview for social media. All right, before we begin, let me ask you all a question. That's right. Which social media platforms are you currently using for your business? In the chat, go ahead and give your answer. And what social media platforms are you most interested in learning about for your business? So you start by going ahead and going into the chat and letting me know the answer to these questions. Like we said, this is an interactive session. They're all interactive sessions. And so which social media platform are you currently using? Let's see. All right. Currently using, we have LinkedIn, Facebook, and would like more information on video content. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Some are saying none at the moment, which is fine. Again, this is an overview. All right. None yet. That's all right. We use Facebook and Instagram. Would like to know more about Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. Great, 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 great. So we're going to take a look at a few formats today. Oh, great. It's great to see everybody answering. This is perfect. All right. Let me get off the chat here and go back onto here. So the plan for today, we're going to talk about a number of, we're going to talk about the purpose for each major social media site, including Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and why you might want to set up your business on these sites and how they compare. We're going to talk about how they compare for user demographics and so on. And we're going to consider some key terms so that we have some vocabulary words that we can, some key terms that we can use for each site so that we can know. This will help out, especially those who haven't yet been on any social media sites. All right, for each of the social media sites, we'll consider some quick tips. All right, so ways for you to reinvigorate your account that might have fallen out of use. And we're going to have a quick little challenge at the very end, all right, for everybody before the next session. Okay, both if you have an account and if you don't have an account. So sit back, relax, and let's begin. Oh, and by the way, I forgot the last link. We're going to make sure that we know how to set up your business on Google correctly. All right, so that's going to be fun. All right, so what is the point of social media, you might be asking? Well, social media connects people. It connects people. It will go ahead and connect you. So Facebook, for example, is the most used of all. All right, a Facebook business page helps people find your business and learn more about what you've got to offer. And that's important. It's a place where you can interact with your customers and reach out, and people can reach out and chat. So a number of you are already using Facebook. That's great. For those of you who aren't, this is a good overview again. All right, so it's a great place to start if you're new to social media. Instagram is far more visual. It's a visual platform. It allows you to form personal connections by sharing pictures and sharing videos. On Instagram, you can take and you can edit different and publish different visual content for your followers and so on. Okay, an Instagram story, for example, is something that you can also use. LinkedIn is a professional network that is used by quite a number of people. All right, you can use LinkedIn to find the right job or to strengthen business and professional relationships and learn the skills that you need. It allows you to build, it allows your business to build a lot of credibility and to develop a meaningful network. All right, and to use expertise by established experts in your industry. Okay, LinkedIn, that's right there. Twitter is microblogging. Twitter is so it's a microblogging platform that allows you to communicate using 280 characters each. Twitter gives you the opportunity to discuss topical trends and trending topics and things like that. It also creates a very engaging audience. It allows you to connect individuals and your business and to see what's happening today and the everyday. So it allows you to learn the latest real-time trends and really invest in what it calls social listening, all right, which is key, okay? So that's important. All right, before we get to demographics, let me go ahead and get into the chat and see when we are, let's see here. Let's see, any questions that we have here? So no business, I provide concierge service. Okay, thank you, Fatima, from the city of Madras. Okay. And yeah, there you go. So those were some back and forth. All right, let's continue on by talking about social media demographics. So some numbers from the social media user demographics. Okay, Facebook, whoops, sorry, I went a little fast here. Facebook has almost 3 billion daily monthly users, 1.59 billion daily users. The users are between 25 and 34. Okay, those are the largest demographic group. And again, about 7 or 8 US adults are use Facebook. Almost 90% of daily active users comes from outside the US. All right. And this is kind of interesting, Facebook accounts for over 45% of monthly social media visits in total. 350 million photos are uploaded every day on Facebook. So that gives you an idea of the breadth and of the social media space that Facebook is. Once again, is one of the most popular for those of you who are not familiar with Facebook. Next, Instagram. We're talking about 1 billion monthly users and 500 million daily users. The demographic is younger generally, right? 67% of US adults aged 18 to 29 use Instagram, right? And 60% say that they discover new products on Instagram, all right? For the younger population in teens, almost 3 in 4 say that this is the best way for brands to reach them about new products and promotion. Right? Instagram users will spend an average of about half an hour a day on the platform. That's the statistics in 2020. It's a little bit more now. And there are 200 million Instagrammers that visit at least one business profile every day. We're talking about 1,000. This is always surprising to me. About 1,000 photos that are uploaded on Instagram every second. So that gives you the general feel of the size of Instagram. Okay, and there you go. Let me make sure that I'm right here and I click on the right button. Here we go. Let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to the next one. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is used by 310 million users and every month, and almost a quarter of a billion total users. It's interesting that a quarter of the young people from 18 to 24 are on LinkedIn. And again, it's used by over half of US college graduates. A quarter of US adults, a little over a quarter of US adults are signed up for LinkedIn, which is really a stunning number. And LinkedIn profiles with headshots, and we're going to talk about that when we talk about LinkedIn, get 14 times more views than those without them. So that's something to consider as well. Last but not least, 79 or almost 80% of B2B marketers see LinkedIn as an effective source for lead generation. So those are the stats for LinkedIn. All right. And last but not least, let's talk about Twitter. Twitter has, and again, the microblogging site, Twitter has 340 million total users and about 185, 186 million daily users. All right. We're talking about 500 million tweets sent every day. And just over 1 in 5 US adults use Twitter. So that's an interesting number as well. So these are the demographics. That gives you a broad overview of who's using these social media platforms. Okay, and there you go. So my question to you now is, did you learn anything that surprised you? In the chat, go ahead and put that in if you learned anything that might have surprised you, maybe the numbers about the demographics. Okay, let me know. Let me just wait just a little second here. Again, yep, that's a question for you. Let me open the chat. Young adults on LinkedIn. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, 90% of Facebook users are out of the country. That's right. It's interesting to see the numbers, huh? Mostly for younger people, Don says. Thank you, Don. And Christy McPherson, thank you. Thank you for participating. Let's see. Somebody says, what happened to my generation? That's a good comment right there. I'm reading the chat here. Very good, very good. Well, thank you very much. Where do people over 34 hang out? Haha. All right. That's a good question. All right. Yes, absolutely. So the numbers, The numbers are always surprising. I found myself quite surprised with the numbers with regards to younger people on LinkedIn, how the younger people are engaged on LinkedIn. I had always assumed before preparing this that LinkedIn was for older, more professional, older professionals. But no, younger people are there, have profiles, college students, recent college grads, and so on. So that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Let's move on. Let's look at key social media vocabulary terms so that we can use the same key terms so that we can understand each other. So on Facebook, a couple of key terms, include the status update. So for those of you who aren't familiar with this, at the very top here, we have the status update. Okay. All right. Let's move on. This is the picture. We can add pictures on Facebook. People that are reached, engagements, all right, number of engagements. And this is the boost post button. So this allows you to boost your posts in various ways, okay? And these are the comments down here. So when we say leave a comment on Facebook, we're talking about down here at the very bottom, down over here, okay? On Instagram, some key terms that we're talking about include the profile picture, the number of posts that you have or that an account has, the number of people that are following you, okay, absolutely, the followers. Oops, sorry about that. The number of people you're following, your bio, and this is a place for you to put links here, okay? And highlights, posts, different posts that you might have, okay? This is the text of the post, all right? Text of the post. These are hashtags that you can use. Hashtags are important. We will be talking about this during these sessions, okay? And different comments on Instagram, and then the like button, and then the number of likes. On LinkedIn, again, on LinkedIn, here we have our profile picture. Here we have the header image. Again, this header image can be changed. We'll talk about how to go about doing that, okay? All right. Here's the headline. Here's the summary, and again, whoops, let's go back to this. So let's go back to Twitter. On Twitter, here we have the Twitter feed itself. All right. And oops. Here we have the area where you can type your tweet. There are various ways that you can do this, but again, this is a snapshot from a computer. Okay. And the tweet button. You can also tweet by using this button over here on the left. This is the home section. All right. You get your notifications here on the left. All right. For those of you who aren't familiar, any direct messages that you might have are over here. And for every tweet, you can get different comments, and they are found right there on the little bubble there. Okay. These are the number of retweets that are done, and the number of likes that you might have for a specific specific tweet. So there you go. All right. This is the opportunity for you to share the tweet. Okay. If you have any questions, again, this is a great time, since we've been talking about key terms here, to go ahead and put them in the chat. All right. And then we'll see. Let me take a look at the chat here. All right. So let's take a look here. There's a question about Snapchat. Christy, one of our SBDC advisors, business advisors, answers, it had a larger impact 10 years ago, but TikTok took over that demographic. Snapchat might have sort of wrecked itself with big ad campaigns, for example, and so on. Okay. What does it mean to boost a post? So you have the ability, let me go back to this. So boosting a post, allows you to go ahead and make sure that more people are reading your post. This can be done in a number of ways. You can go ahead and click that button that says boost post, and you can pay so that Facebook can go ahead and push your post to more people. That's what it means to boost a post. There are different ways that this can be done, but the boost button is the easiest way, really, that you can go ahead and do that. You have an organic number of followers, so the people who are following you, who have liked your things, and who can read you in their feed. But if you boost a post, you can go ahead and get that sort of quote unquote sponsored and get it more to more viewers. But again, that costs a little bit more. Okay. So thank you for your questions. Let me go ahead and go to the quick tips here. I'll get to the, let me see. We have more questions on chat. Okay. I wouldn't say that boosting is necessarily Facebook limiting the people who can see your post, but this is one way that they can make money. That's how they monetize and they make their platforms better. Thank you, Christy, for the answer to that. Absolutely, absolutely. I would say that boosting can be worth it. It all depends on the strategy that you use. But again, it is totally up to you how you go about it. If this is a strategy in your marketing that marketing expenditures that you want to go ahead and use or not. So there you go. I'll take, let me go ahead and go on to our next section, and then, and then I'll take some more questions in just a bit right after this question, right after this section. Again, anybody in the SBDC, Jeff or Christy, can answer also in the chat. So you've helped out a lot as I'm going over this and juggling the questions and the presentation. So thank you very much. Thank you. Let's go ahead and just really quickly talk about quick tips here about how to revive your Facebook page. You might have had a Facebook page, you might have a Facebook page, and it might be great. You might not have kept it up to date. So let's talk about this. If it's been a long time since you have posted on Facebook, look at your cover image. Look at that profile photo that you have and the about section, right? The information section, and make sure that everything is up to date. It could be easy to let that slip as the busyness of the business goes on and forget to, there might be a big thing, a big event in your business or something like that. There might be something where you want to talk about and you want to talk about it on Facebook, and make sure to update those profile photos and those cover images. That's very, very important. Okay. Also, remember that the cover image takes up the most space on that business page. So again, by having it relevant, topical, engaging, and dare I say fun, it is very, very important for the interaction between you and your prospective customers. So that's important too. All right, let's go on. So as an example, here we have, you can see the real estate that the picture takes on your business Facebook business page, on your Facebook business page. Clicking on the edit button, allows you to go ahead and change this. So again, I would recommend that this be just as important as anything with regards to posting, right? Keeping it fresh, keeping it up to date, right? That's how you would go ahead and do that. Facebook tip number 2, make sure that you make full use of that button, okay? This button right there. Okay, so this one has edit contact us, for example, the contact us information that you can edit, all right, when you're on your Facebook business page, all right? Again, it can be used this way. You can edit it this way, change that button to contact us, and there you go. It looks like this from the perspective of a visitor. Okay, it all depends on your overall strategy and how you want to go ahead and use this. It could be a contact button. Again, it can be other things. give me 1 second. Let's go back over here. You can quickly have send a message. You can create a phone call, right? Choose where you would like to receive calls and so on. So there's a lot that you can look at here. Okay. All right, let's keep going. A third tip for Facebook, okay? Schedule your posts to save time. All right, you might have a number of different things that you want to tell your prospective customers, your community, and go ahead and you might not have the time to sit and go back every time you have something to say. You might want to schedule your posts ahead of time to save time. Okay, this can be done by using publishing tools over here and scheduling your posts. Your posts are created like that by clicking on create posts, and you can click on the little arrow down here on the bottom. That little arrow right here goes and allows you to schedule those posts right here by clicking on schedule post. All right. Again, I've used this myself, and it is a way that you can go ahead and save a lot of time scheduling 2, 3, 4. I've done up to 8 separate posts if they go out once every week, for example, for the next 8 weeks or something like that. So that is, again, totally up to you, your communication strategy, however you want to go ahead and do that as well. So that's awesome. That's perfect. All right. Again, you set the time, you set the date, you're able to schedule these posts and click on schedule post, and you have the list right there on the schedule post section. And it'll tell you when it's scheduled for and what the privacy connection is, if it's public or not, and so on. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Okay. Before we go on to the Facebook challenge, that's right, you have a challenge. I'm giving you some homework for the next session. Before we go on to do that, let me go ahead and check the chat just to make sure, okay, that we have here. I have, all right. So the question was, and again, thank you to Christy, our SBDC advisor, answering these questions for me. Thank you very much. Does boosting only go to your followers? And the answer is no. You can decide your audience to a certain point. Yes. And boosting, I'm reading here the comments, preceded ads. Okay. Used to be more effective, but Facebook has moved to ads. All right. Absolutely. Encouraging professionals to do ad instead of the DIY. Okay. Eric adds that TikTok does work well for business and create synergy with some platforms, some other platforms linking video content like Reels of Facebook or Instagram Shorts, for example, or Shorts on YouTube. All right, absolutely. Thank you, Eric and Christy, for that information. We really are a team here at the SBDC from BMCC. So go team. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Tip for the group, says Casey, put your business tagline and vision on a picture for your cover photo. Absolutely. That is a very, very good idea, especially when, again, the real estate covers quite a bit of the real estate of the photo covers quite a bit of your Facebook business page. So that's a tip that you can go ahead and use. Absolutely. Okay. Let's take a look at that. So Brandon has a question. Let me see. Here we go. My business has shifted a little bit. Curious if I should update it to reflect a new brand or start a new page. Now, again, Casey does mention, and Christy also do mention, that starting a new page means starting over with a following, and again, something to consider. Absolutely. It's hard to start over with no followers and to get people to migrate to a new page. All right, absolutely. It's also, it might be confusing to people. I've noticed that too. Very good. So thank you very much. All right. Jeff adds, update your page. The more you share in new markets, the better. Absolutely. All right. If you start a new page, it might confuse the viewers that you have. And again, like Eric noted, there's a lot more connection and overlap between platforms. They all used to do one thing. Instagram at one point was images only, but they've all integrated and adapted. So that's important to take a look right there. Contact your SBDC advisor, absolutely, to go over social media accounts more in a one-on-one setting. And give us a call. Again, we'll have the phone number and all that information at the very end as soon as we are done. Okay, very good. Let's go back over here. Let's go back over here to our presentation, to our challenge, to our homework. All right, so here is the challenge for you. Oh no, he's assigning homework. If you already have a Facebook page, that's quite a number of you, make sure that everything is up to date. Make sure that it's all up to date, okay? Make sure that it is also up to date with your cover photo as well. All right, try to schedule a few posts and try out that Facebook button. So if that's something that you have now, if you do not have a Facebook page, that's a number of you as well. All right, try to decide on possibilities for your profile and your cover photo. And remember that your profile photo should be squared. Make sure that it fits. All right, should be a square. And that we have a rectangle for your cover photo. We're talking about 1 to 2.5. There's ability to adjust some things, but again, that's the general idea. You can use programs, and we're going to talk about this in next sessions, but you can use programs like Canva, C-A-N-V-A, that can help you design your profile photo and your cover photo. So again, we'll talk about this in different sessions as well. So here we go. Let's talk about Instagram page. Yes, some quick tips to revive your Instagram page. Some things that you can do. All right. Be sure that you have a, oops, I clicked too fast here. I apologize. Be sure that you have a Instagram business page. How do you do that? Well, you can go ahead and click on the setting here on your Instagram, for example, on your phone, and click on settings, go to accounts, and switch over to professional account. That is really an idea that you can try, okay? A tip. A second tip is to include a link in your bio, okay? A link in your bio, for example, right here, all right? So this is an example of an Instagram bio right over here. And with some text and information here, we have some hashtags, as you can see, but we also have a link. So make sure to include a link, perhaps a link to your business, link to your website, things that are relevant for you, all right here in your Instagram page. Don't neglect that idea. Last but not least, and this might seem like common sense, but again, make sure to use recognizable profile images. Okay, maybe it's a picture of your storefront, or maybe it is a picture of yourself or of your logo. All right. So for example, here's Barley Browns that we have here out of Baker City, right over here. So we have the logo here with some with the link that they did, which was really nice. Okay, and a lot of information. Again, make sure to give us a call so that you can get one-on-one help with that social media profile with your SBDC advisors. Again, give us a call. That is quite something. That is very important. Let's talk about the homework for Instagram now, the challenge for next time. If you already have an Instagram page, okay, if you already have, make sure that you look to initiate that business profile, all right? Make sure to include a link in your bio and that you use that recognizable profile image, all right? Again, there's a balance between changing your profile images too much, or you don't want to do it too much, but at the same time, you don't want it to be stale. You want some familiarity as well. So there's that balance again. All right. For those who don't have an Instagram page, all right, find that recognizable profile picture. It'll be a square, and write a nice short biography, all right, which again can be 150 characters or about 30 words. That is really the sweet spot that you can do, that you should do. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at the chat and see what we have, since we're talking about the challenges. Okay, let's go back over here. let's go back over here. Here we go. Brandon says, thank you so much for reviewing the group chat so well. Oh, well, you're welcome. Thank you. It's everybody, really. It's the whole team that's doing this. So I love Canva. I use it all the time. Absolutely. For nonprofits, Canva Pro is free. Canva has so many uses. Again, we'll talk about this. We'll go ahead and do a demo next time. So that'll be either next time or the time after. I have to check. But one of the subsequent sessions. I highly recommend Canva to do things like making the banner just like Casey mentioned. Absolutely, absolutely. Canva.com. That's the way to do it. Absolutely. Our advisors are here to meet with you and discuss this more in depth if needed. And it's free, absolutely. What should you say in a bio? Short and sweet, what are the things that you offer? Keep it short, keep it simple. Again, let's take a look back at Barley Brown as an example, the example that we had here. Okay. All right. Just going back one slide just to see what do they have in the bio, since that was the question. Barley Brown's Beer, Brewed Pub, Baker City Brewing Company, established 1998, Baker City, Oregon. Very straightforward, very simple. I would say don't confuse it. Don't over confuse it with being too verbose. All right, you want to make sure that it is a really targeted. Think of it like a longer version of a motto or slogan, so that people really know what you're talking about and who you are and who you offer. Okay. Thank you to everybody. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Christy. Absolutely. All right. If you do this for a blog, Don said, oops. Let's go back over here. If you do this for a blog, should the bio be more of your personal info, such as who you are and what your blog is about? Again, it depends on, Christy answers, it depends on how much you are the product, right? For example, if you're selling a book about your life, right, your life would be a major part of the brand. Absolutely. Okay. All right. And again, 30 words have to be somewhat to the point. Absolutely. Again, it is a balance. It all depends on what you do. It all depends on what you offer. And that's, again, quite important. Again, you don't want to be too verbose, but you want to provide information about who you are, about your brand, and about your product or services. Okay, very, very straightforward. Let's go back over here. And this was our homework that we had a chance to see. Now, your tips. What has helped you? What tips have helped you? Oops. Well, you've been putting it all really well in the chat. So what tips have helped you and your business on Instagram? Go ahead and put that in the chat if you would like. You've already been doing that, so that's been great. So again, we're all helping each other out here with information that we've been able to use. Okay, so absolutely. All right, let's go to LinkedIn now. Some of us might have started a LinkedIn profile a long ways back, a business LinkedIn profile. Okay, make sure that your profile image and banners are up to date. That's, again, a given for any social media platform. All right, does it say what you want it to say? That's important. Is the message going out what you want the message to be? Okay, very, very clear, very important as well. So here I am right over here. Okay, so here you have a profile image. Oh my goodness, I need to update it. I didn't have glasses when I took that picture. Now I have glasses. It might be a better idea if I take another photo and go on Canva to really focus the picture. So there you go. It has a lot of, I have also a possibility to update my banner here. The banner looked nice, but again, I'm going to click on that little button over here in the corner that allows me to update this. Okay, very easy, very straightforward. Okay. Also, please make sure to complete every field on your page. There are a lot of fields in LinkedIn. All right. Oops. There are a lot of fields in LinkedIn, and don't neglect information, especially if it's information about your products or services, information about your business and company from a business from the business page that you can do on LinkedIn. Make sure to complete everything. Don't leave everything behind. Anything behind, I mean, I'm sorry. There is a little meter on LinkedIn that helps you know what you're missing. So it'll say you've started your profile photo, you've started your biography, but go ahead and add some more things about you and your experience, for example, or your educational background. It'll add and it'll help you do that. So there's a little meter here that you can see on LinkedIn, which is kind of fun. All right. Here is our LinkedIn homework. Oops. Here is our LinkedIn homework. Oops. There you go. So if you have already a LinkedIn page, make sure that, again, everything is up to date and that you've completed every field. All right. Find a nice, good profile photo that matches you or your business. And remember, we're talking about the LinkedIn business page that you can go ahead and click on and start. All right. Or a personal LinkedIn page, okay? And again, it all depends on your branding and your marketing strategy. Find a good cover photo, again, a rectangle 4:1. That's a general, broad general rectangle. So again, you might want to use Canva, again, to edit those, filter those, really add all that information, make it nice, make it pop, okay? And so on. So that's great, that's great. All right. Once again, please remember to add any questions. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Okay. We have part of our time today is to answer these questions. You've been doing a great job putting them in the chat so far, but just as a quick reminder. Okay. All right. What tips have helped your business on LinkedIn? Is there anything that you can tell me? Any tips that you can share with the group where you have used LinkedIn, where it has helped your business? Let me open up the chat and see what we have. All right. Let's see. Here we go. What if you have two businesses? How do you represent that on LinkedIn? Christy answers, you can also make business pages. Absolutely, you can make business pages on LinkedIn. You can make more than one. And so I would say go ahead and do that. Again, have the logo there. We've got a hand up. I see a hand up. Thank you very much for pushing that reaction button. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. One thing that I do to build my network on LinkedIn is at the top, click on my network. And then when you're searching, search. So like we support Eastern Oregon. So I type in different towns in Eastern Oregon and it will pop up with a list of people that live there. And then I can go through and see who do I want to add to my network that way.
That's right. Okay, thank you. That's a great tip. And thank you for raising your hand, I guess. That was what it is. Thank you for raising your hand. Anybody else? Go ahead and put it in the chat, or go ahead and I guess raise your hand. Push that reaction button. Anybody for LinkedIn? All right. Okay. That was great. All right, let's go ahead and talk about, hashtags. We will talk about hashtags in a subsequent session. We're going to talk about hashtags in the subsequent session, but we could talk about hashtags now. You can use hashtags on a number of different social media platforms. And what they do is that they go ahead and direct you to similar or identical hashtags. So for example, Eastern Oregon business or hashtag Eastern Oregon business. Anybody who's gone ahead and talked about Eastern Oregon business have used that identical hashtag. You can sort all those posts together. Again, that's one way that they're used. Hashtag strategy, again, we'll talk about this in another session, is something that you can also talk about with your SBDC advisor on one-on-one sessions, things that can help you specifically for your business, how you can go ahead and do that. So again, thank you for that. Absolutely. Hashtags are important. They're found in multiple ways that you can multiple social media platforms, really to track topics rather than, like Christy says, rather than a person or a business, to sort through the topics. All right, and so there's a different ways to go about it. Absolutely. So thank you, Christy. Thank you, Fatima, for your question that you had here about hashtags. Absolutely. All right. Okay, let's move on. And we are close to being done. We might be finished early. My goodness, class might be let out early. All right. So let's talk about quick tips to revive your Twitter page now. Real quick. Again, tip number one, make sure your username brands your business. Okay, so you have the ability to change that username and change the username and add information about your business in your username. What you want to avoid is a generic username or something that is a little too personal, right? You know, hashtag cool dude 43 might not reflect your business. Okay, so I'm sorry, I mean at cool dude 33 might not reflect your business or something like that. So you want to make sure that it's relevant to your business, right? And brands it. You can go ahead and change that username, after your initial setup. Okay, that's really important to do that. All right. So again, here are a couple of examples. All right, so NFL at NFL, you can change again that name. All right, McDonald's, LeBron James, Baker City Herald. All right, and information like that. Again, you can change information in your bio as well, but again, we're talking about that username and the importance of having a clear and concise username that reflects your brand. Okay. All right, and number two, Twitter tips. Don't forget to use images in your tweets. They are important, okay? So for example, here, this is a tweet that has used an image right over here. That tweet right there will have more interaction with people because of the visuals. People will go ahead and scroll, and it will be eye-catching to see the photos rather than just simply text and a link. Don't neglect the text and the link. They're very important, but also don't neglect the photos as well. Here's the Twitter homework. Okay, again, make sure to use, again, a username that brands your business and tweet at least once with a picture. Okay, so that's important as well. Okay, also, let's keep going. If you don't have a Twitter account, all right, consider starting one. You might start a personal one at first and then alter it and change it so that it's more for your business. Find a good profile picture, a square, and a good header picture as well. That's a rectangle, 3:1, 3:1 in proportion. Okay, let's take a look. Let's keep going. And now, any tips that you have about Twitter, where you have used Twitter in your business, go ahead and put it in the chat. Or you can raise that hand. I'm always excited to be able to hear you. So in the chat, let me open up the chat here and see if anybody has any tips that you have used with Twitter and your business. Okay, let's take a look. All right, Christy says, this is a great example of platforms adapting. Absolutely. Twitter used to be text only and even had limited characters. Yes, absolutely. It used to be just 140 characters, and then it grew to 280, and now we have a lot more functionality with Twitter. So they are adapting. So there's a lot to look at and a lot to see. New features coming up every time. It seems like it's every time to me, but there you go. Christy also adds that Canva is great to put your images in the correct proportions for your platforms. Absolutely. We'll talk about Canva in the next session. But again, you can go ahead and make sure that you get the right proportion, all right, for your images. That's exciting. That's good. Canva is a lot of fun. Everybody's a big fan of Canva around here. So there you go. All right. Let's talk about My Business and Google. the last section today, okay? It'll be a basic overview here. So when you register a new business, there might be a business profile of an old business at the same location. Don't try to claim it. Instead, suggest an edit to have it marked as closed. Then you can create a new profile on Google My Business for your business, okay? So in order to begin, you're going to need, let me close the chat here so that I can see my screen. Oops. In order to begin, you're going to sign in to Google My Business at business.google.com. And then, if you're signing your business up for the first time, enter the business address and other necessary information. Once everything is right and correct, click the Verify Now button that you will have on the red banner. Follow the instructions and then wait for a physical postcard that comes to you from Google. That postcard will have a code. That code, you'll then be able to use it to verify your physical location. So you can go ahead and do that. So for example, you'll click on Manage Now, sign in. You'll sign in with all of your information or click in it or create an account. Oops. Click the info button on the left-hand side, right over here. Okay, once you have it on the left-hand side, you can adjust your business information as needed. All right, and again, oops, there you go. Double clicked again. I go too fast. So let's go ahead and take a look. You can edit your information, mention the address or and the operating times and so on and so forth. So this is an important part for you to go ahead and do that. A lot of people go ahead and start on Google looking for businesses. Google will have the information. Make sure that if you're at a location where a business has been marked as closed, you have that updated, okay, so that people don't think that your business is closed. They don't, oh, it was the previous business. Well, Google said that it was this way. And so keep it up to date. That's the key. And that's the lesson, broadly speaking, for all these platforms. Keep them up to date. Keep them up to date. Okay, that's important. Okay. All right. Let's move on. So the question that I have, let's take a look at the chat actually, okay, which was, it's the next slide here. Let's go to the next slide for questions, all right. Let's see, where am I? Here we go. For Google, how does it work if you don't have a physical location or if you share an office with another business? That is a great question. You don't have to use Google, Google My Business. It doesn't necessarily have to be there if you don't have a physical location, right? But if you share an office with another business, then go ahead and click on the verification, get that postcard in there, and it should work. I've never done that myself with two businesses in one, but again, I've done that with one business in one location. And so this should be fairly straightforward. Let's see, can there be multiple businesses at one address? And again, I think the key is to create a new email, Google email for each one. Yes, that's important. I like to avoid giving my home address to clients. Again, you're not necessarily giving your home address to clients. Absolutely, that's a privacy thing, of course. All right, but it doesn't. You don't have to again use Google. You don't have to put in an address either. All right, that's important. You don't have to do the verification. All right. You can tell your Google your address, but not publish it. That's right. That's another way to go about it. But it doesn't, again, you can use as much or as little information as you have. All right. My business was added to Google when Google worked, oops. I'm sorry. As the new questions come in, it sort of messes up with the chat here. Just a second here. My business was added to Google when Google worked with Pendleton Chamber of Commerce. Never had a postcard with a code. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Is this a problem? No, it's to be able to cross-check the exact physical location of a business. So I'll have to do more digging into that. That's a good question. If you don't receive a card, I'll have to do that and then answer your questions in a subsequent session. Yeah, you stumped me. You stumped the teacher. That's that's great. That's great. It happens. It happens. Again, Christy says, I recommend creating a new Google email, even if you don't use it. Okay, that's one way that you can go about it. Okay. Let's keep going. More questions are coming in. If you don't have a card, you may not be verified to control changes to your Google Biz profile. Right. And so again, I'll have to do some more research into that. But that is Casey's comment. So thank you, Casey, for that. Absolutely. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And my broad challenge for next time, before our next session, look at other businesses' social media page and find 2 or 3 things that you would like to adopt. All right, so take a look at other businesses' social media page and sort of copy some things that might be cool, might be useful for your branding and marketing, might be neat to have, and look at some things that you might like to adopt. All right. We are 4 minutes before the end, and I would like to go ahead and remind you that absolutely we've had a chance to do the overview today. Yes, absolutely. That was a lot of fun. I was blown away by your amazing questions that you had. I am very, very glad that you all were here. Absolutely. Next time, which is a week from today, please come back for social media setup, where we go ahead and take a look at how to set up social media. The week after that, this is going to be the 24th. This is going to be the 31st. Website and e-commerce. We'll take a look at a couple of examples, and again, share some examples that you might have. All right, and what has worked for you, what maybe hasn't worked for you, some ideas that others might have. We're sharing here. Our team will be here as well for these. And on the 7th of April, grow your following. All right, and that will be it for the whole session. So that's great. All right, that's perfect. All right, and again, here is the number. We are here ready to answer your questions. 541-278-5833 or sbdc@bluecc.edu. Please make sure to send any questions that you have. All right, and that is great. I'm going to do one last check of the chat if we have any questions here. I'll leave this up here for you to take down the number and the information. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me take a look at that. So thank you so much for everyone. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you to me, Casey, Christy, and Eric. Absolutely. Thank you all. Thank you, SBDC. Great questions. They were great questions. Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you to everyone, especially me. Well, I'm just the voice. It's the team here. We are a team, and that's important. So I will say thank you to you all. Will this recording be accessible to review? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And we'll reach out to you with that information as well. So yes. All right. Have a great day, everyone. We are 2 minutes early. Class dismissed. Absolutely. Thank you very, very much.